All right, shalom, shalom. We the brothers from the GMS New Orleans. We coming back at you with another lesson. Prior to getting started, as we always do, we like to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushua, Ba'ashim, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akims that's pushing the truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this video be edifying first and foremost to the whole elect, then to those that cleave to the body. And through the spirit, man, the brother, obviously, we went into the conference called the Revelation 13, which inspired this lesson, all right, about, that having that stigma, all right, because obviously we know there's two marks, all right. You got the mark of the Y, which is exemption from judgment, and then you got the Quran, all right, which basically states, that's the wrath for the judgment of the Lord, man, without mixture, okay. But what we want to go into today, okay, saying that we are in the chambers of mercy of the Lord, and we pray that we continue to be there. We're gonna go into the we proceed like a prelude to what? The scars of service. Yeah. All right. And those scars of service gonna lead us to this first precept, which is in Galatians 6 and 16. All right, where Paul speak about the marks in his body. All right, and we're gonna bring it out and give an illustration of it from a spiritual perspective, and also from what? A fleshly perspective, all right, that we may bear them both, all right, understanding that Yahweh shall say, take up on my yoke, for my yoke is easy, all right, but it's still a yoke, all right, and he also showed, as Yahweh shall being a trailblazer, he also showed how to bear the marks, all right, of one who is in the ways of walking in the paths of righteousness, all right, until keeping the faith through what? Every situation, man, and fully indebted himself, all right, unto the glory which stood, before him. So that's our same glory, and as we be followers of Yahweh Shai, all right, these are the things we're going to have to do while we attend to the ministry, which in the ministry, we're going to get scars of service, man. All right, go ahead, brother.
This is Galatians 6, and
start at 15.
6 and 15.
And get that in the NLT, Baba Shai.
In the NLT.
Yep.
It said it doesn't matter whether we have been circumcised or not. What counts is whether we have been transformed into a new creation.
Now, so it says it doesn't matter whether we have been circumcised or not. All right? Because at the end of the day, Yahweh Shai is the end of the law. All right? So circumcision proved nothing, because we still would do things that label us as being uncircumcised. Like we still sin, we still err off. But the circumcision do count, because it's a renewing of your mind. All right. It says, that's why it says the true circumcision is being transformed into a new creation. All right. That's not like you're a whole new, totally different person. All right. But it's about renewing your thoughts, your ways. All right. The ways that you walk in the Lord, man, and understanding, all right, what the law is for. All right. Why he put it in place, and what it and ultimately what is going to become of us, because we're going to become the law. All right. So getting circumcised here, that's still another level we have to actually reach. All right. To be ultimately perfect. Okay. So getting circumcised doesn't count as perfection, but being transformed into that new creature, all right, gets us to what? In the way of that perfection. But you got it.
Yeah, this verse 16, it say, may God's peace and mercy be upon all who live by this principle. They are the new people of the Most High.
And the new people of the Most High is the men of the Lord, having this the blood on that doorpost, which is symbolic for having this word of their mind, just making this word afresh, right? Bringing it to them again, all right, to where they can walk in the ways that stabilize them unto righteousness, man. All right, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, verse 17. From now on, don't let anyone trouble me with these things, for I bear on my body the scars that show I belong to Yahweh Shai.
So the scars that show we belong unto Yahweh Shai. And remember, I mentioned Yahweh Shai being a trailblazer. So he actually showed Thomas the scars, man. All right, and we're going to go into this word, the marks, that Paul was speaking about, that he bearing his body. All right, and we'll get it again. It's going to be twofold. So we'll get both sides of it. And I don't want to rather this lesson be edifying, and it'd be understanding to why we walk in this ministry, what we do it for, and why we do it. Go ahead, bro.
This that word marks in Galatians 6 and 17 in the blue letter is G4742.
Strong's G4742. Stigma.
Stigma. Alright, when we get the root word,
Yeah, you can get the, get the,
yeah, this is the root word, the etymology. It says, from a primary steezo to stick, prick. In the outline of biblical usage, it says a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to.
Right. And part of that that pricking, all right, that we have received of the word of the Lord is right, once we got this word, it says, once you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. All right, and by receiving the word of the Lord, being pricked, it shows who we're slaves unto, right? We are under physical slavery under Esau, all right, but we're prisoners of righteousness and through the spirit of Yahweh Shai, because we follow Yahweh Shai, man. All right. So now this shows this is a reflection of our ownership about how we go about, because we render unto the things Caesar. We give Caesar what Caesar for his taxes or whatever. But for us, what we must pay unto the Lord, our due, and what we owe, that goes to the Lord, man. All right? We're going to keep what thus says the Lord, because we're spiritually prisoners of righteousness, but physically prisoners of what? Esau slavery, man. All right? But we're owned, all right, and surnamed after Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. So we following after Yahweh Shai. You got something?
I mean, they got a little bit more here.
By establishing ourselves, becoming that new creature in Yahweh Shai, all right, we begin to make a foundation with them. All right, we are foundationally building towards ultimately, establishing ourselves as gods in the image of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, in the Strong's definition, let me just get to the point. It says a mark, incised or punched for recognition of ownership. It says a scar of service.
A what?
Scar of service.
And that's the name of the lesson. It's a scar of service.
Yeah.
All right? Because saying we're followers of Yahweh Shai, we're going to have to be able to, what it says, the master, the servants, differ nothing from the master. So we're going to have to walk. We may have to walk in the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And that's what Paul was explaining. Listen, it's either you're going to bet a mark of Satan or you're going to bet a mark of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. All right? And Paul was saying, look, I'm a follower of Yahweh Shai, so I'm going to bet those marks. And those marks comes with what? Affliction, the baptism of fire that we always go into, man. All right? Understanding that we're going to get spiritually marked. All right? They say, put a mark on those that what? Sigh and cry for the abomination. Okay? And then you got the what? The marks showing we follow the Lord, that we're going to be what? Persecuted for his sake, man. All right? In distress, tumults, trouble. See, because you, again, this next, I'm going to bring out this account next with Thomas to basically show and prove how having the marks of following righteousness in their body by no one else than Yahweh Shai, man. All right, as being a prime example. You got something?
I do. That is yeah, this Isaiah. Well, I really won't get into it when you get the account with Thomas for this one.
Yeah, come.
Yeah, but I'll get this. This is Philippians 3 and 7. It said, "But what things were gained to me, those I counted lost for Hamashiach. Yet doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahushua my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Hamashiach. Right, and that's why we better, the marks of our Lord, in order to, win them, because we prisoners of hope. All right, so we go through these things, these sufferings, these hardships, in order to show the Lord, like, yeah, we believe in you. You are our master. All right, we're not gonna let Esau come put his mark on us, or come, stamp his ownership on us. All right, we rather bear the marks, the marks of the Lord. All right, because that's where our owner is. That's where our faith and our hope in.
Yeah.
That's why we suffer with it.
Come on. John 20. And you can jump. You go to 20
John
first.
20.
Yeah, 20.
Good. This John 20 and 20.
Then you're gonna jump down to 24.
It says, and when he had so said, he showed unto them his hands and his side. Then were the disciples glad when they saw the Lord.
So the reason why they put emphasis on showing him his hands and his side, because when you think about when he was on the cross, they pricked what? His hands and his side. Yeah. Remember? Yeah. They said the centurion, they pierced, but we going into pricking. Right? So pricking is going all line up, all right? As we continue to get further and further into the lesson, all right? But he put emphasis on showing him his hands and his side. He could have just showed him himself. He could have just appeared like I was once dead, now I'm alive. But he was like, look at my hands and my thighs to prove he had went through what he went through and prove that was him on the cross, man. All right, to show them ultimately, because that's what we gonna have to do through the spirit and through the flesh. All right, as we conform to our Lord. Go ahead, bro. Yeah. Jump to 24.
It's verse 24. It says, but Thomas, one of the 12, called Didymus,
nicknamed the twin,
was not with them when Yahushua came.
Yeah.
The other disciples therefore said unto him, we have seen the Lord. But he said unto them, except I shall see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and thrust my hand into his side, I will not believe. Right.
So so Thomas was basically saying, going into it physically, he's going to believe. All right. And then you had the other ones, the other 12 he showed when we went into 20, they believed him spiritually. All right. But Thomas said he going to believe. So we have to not just believe the Lord through the spirit. We have to be willing to go what it take, willing to endure what it take in the flesh also to receive the Lord, man. All right. And this is what this lesson is about. It's both ways. All right. When you got the mark of the Lord, the way you have the balance is you willing to go what it take through the flesh. All right. To get what we're going to receive through the spirit. All right. You're going to have both of the marks, man. Okay. And some men make less than others, but you're going to have to be able to endure what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua endured, man. All right. In order to receive this. And this is my reason for bringing out this account. So he was like, well, hey, look, unless I do it physically, you see? Yeah. Right? Now you can understand Thomas believed. But when he did it physically, he believed. All right? So we're going to, is a prelude to show we're going to have to maybe do them both in order to what? Get the Lord, man. To win the Lord. You see? Yeah, and Lord willing, the lesson making sense. We'll go a little bit further because you can't do and get none of these things without it. Give me Matthew 10 and 38. And as the Lord, matter of fact, Salaki, before you get that, give me Hebrews 10 and 5. All right? Because I want to make a quick point because the Lord had well, I'll let him read this first. All right?
It's Hebrews 10 and 5.
Go ahead.
It says, wherefore, when he cometh into the world, he said, sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not, but a body hast thou prepared me.
Right. So, but he said that body which was in this world, the Lord had prepared for him. Meaning, The Lord that gave him a body to be able to endure everything that he was going to go through.
Read it in NLT.
Yeah, spiritually here, the Lord have given us the mindset to endure everything we're going to go through, which give us the balance, man. All right? The Lord haven't given us that body, all right, that Yahweh Shai had, because he had to have the perfect body to go through take on all the sins of Israel. All right, we taking on the sins of ourselves, but ultimately, all right, it's through the Spirit we're going to have to be able to endure that. But he said in this world he had to have the body. So where are we now? In the world. So we may have to have the body to endure the fate, all right, or have the faith we need to believe that we'll get Yahweh Shai in life or in death. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Hebrews 10:5 in the NLT. It says, that is why when Hamashiach came into the world, he said to the Most High, you did not want animal sacrifices or sin offerings, but you have given me a body to offer.
See? Now, couldn't Yahweh Shai have transformed itself or transfigurated into the spirit or an angel? All right, but he allowed his body to be bruised and beaten according to Isaiah 53, so he could receive that which was stored before him. All right, and that was written in the Lord's will. And the same as our walk. All right, unless we take up on this same thing, we're not going to be able to receive it. Now give me that Matthew 10:38.
It's Matthew 10:38. It says, and he that taketh not his cross
Mm-hmm.
and followeth after me is not worthy of me.
Yep. So how you take your cross? Well, didn't he say, take up that cross, take up on my burden, for my burden is light?
Yep.
All right. That's your cross, man. All right. And that's the way. But didn't Yahweh Shai take his cross? And then we go into, when the elder was bringing out the other day, the other two men helped him. But that's symbolic to us being helped when we carry our cross, man. All right? That we have brothers. What it said in 1 Peter 5:9, it says that
it's completed with them in
the same brethren that are in the world. Yeah. So the same men are also sacrificing themselves in order to receive the spiritual treasures that's stored up. It's going to be a physical sacrifice for a spiritual treasure.
Yeah.
All right?
I got one for you too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this Philippians 2:7. It says, but made himself of no reputation and took upon him the form of a servant. Alright? That's a good point. The form of a servant. And it says, and was made in the likeness of men. And being found and fashioned as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let you go ahead. Make your point.
I was just gonna say, and that's an example, to us. Us, picking up our cross is symbolic to being obedient unto Yahweh Shai. Because the cross is basically the burdens of the marks of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
Alright? So we gotta be obedient unto that as he was.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, and it says in 1 Corinthians, it says howbeit that which is first natural, then spiritual.
Yeah.
So we still have to go through it through the flesh. Like, you can't skip this part. Someone's not gonna taste that, but we might get beaten, battered, maimed. But the point is that we believe our Lord did it, all right, through the Spirit, and we believe our Lord did it by actually physically seeing him, because Thomas represents the 12. So if we're they still was of the belief. All right? Yeah, more than he that believe without saying than those that see and believe, but that's still that's the balance of believing too.
Yep.
So the Lord want to see, if it pleased him to see his son get bruised, how much more it pleased him to see his witnesses martyred or battered, because that's a glory. Yep. Yahweh Shai did it, like, hey, my big brother did it, we gonna do it. All right? This is Romans 12:1.
Yeah.
It says, and so, brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies, I'm reading it in the NLT, to God because of all he has done for you. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find acceptable. this is truly the way to worship him. You see? And when he saw his son getting beat, it pleased him.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a holy sacrifice. It says, but don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let the Most High transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Now, didn't it say circumcision doesn't matter, but that you become a new creature? You see? It comes right back to this, man. The way that we think about how our Lord was crucified, the things he endured. All right. And that we think on those same things, and that we will walk after them, man. It ain't easy. We know it ain't easy. All right. But this is the instructions to how we got to walk behind it. This is all we have. All right. It's either, right, we at the point, all right, it's either we gonna obey or we gonna die, because obedience is better than the sacrifice. So we got to obey it. All right. This is the manual. This is the instructions. You know, go ahead.
I had one too. That was it you had?
No, I got a little more. It says the changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know our powers, wills for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. So that's how you become the perfect man, or you complete yourself. All right. You know, but go ahead, all right.
This is that Isaiah 53 though. I'll start at verse 4.
Just get to the point, because I got some more I want to catch in Luke. So
yeah, this Isaiah 53 and 4. It says, surely he had borne our griefs, right? It says, and carried our sorrows.
Yeah, and that was through, he had to do that through the physical too.
Yep.
We gonna have to acknowledge it. All right, like this gotta happen through the physical. So we gotta get our mindsets ready for our bodies to be potentially tortured.
Yep.
If it comes down to it. Now, they ain't, how you get ready for that when you don't know what way you'll be tortured or whatever? It's going to have to be through the faith. Go ahead, all right.
It says, surely he had borne our griefs and carried our sorrows.
Yep.
You know, just like we got to carry our cross for him, right?
Yep.
It says, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of the Most High, and afflicted.
Yep.
Verse 5, it says, but he was wounded for our transgressions, and he was bruised for our iniquities.
Yes.
The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed.
Yeah.
Right?
So the chastisement of his what?
The chastisement of our peace was upon him.
So now we got to return the favor and go. We got to walk. Like he said, the servants differ nothing from the master. Right? So we might have to return that favor and go. So brothers got to transform your mind into right now, like this might have to go down like that. All right. And this the worst it'll get. So anything better than this is a bonus. Right? This the worst it could get. So if you got your mind on, okay, I already do the worst, but pray for the best. All right. So did Yahushua. He said, if this cup could pass, let it pass. So we're just doing the same thing our big brother did. Go ahead, you got it.
It says, the chastisement of our peace was upon him.
Go ahead.
And with his stripes, we are healed.
You got it.
Yeah, you made a point about, you know, Thomas saying he needed to see the wounds.
Yep.
He needed to see it, right?
Yep, the healing is the belief too.
Yep.
That's where the belief coming at. When you get healed, go ahead.
Yeah, but that just lets you know. It says, and with his stripes, we are healed. All right. So it healed our mind, Yahweh's sacrifice, him sacrificing himself for us, all right, coming back into the knowledge, it renewed our minds, it healed our minds on, you know, on believing him, on having hope in him. All right. We know that his sacrifice was not in vain.
Yep.
You want me to keep going there?
No. That's good. His sacrifice wasn't in vain because through the process of the sacrifice, we know it wasn't in vain, because when he gave up the ghost in the temple, you know, the rent, the sun was darkened and the veil of the temple was rent, which that goes into spiritually, you know, us being able to be ministers, you know, every tribe ministers. You know, that's another topic for another day as well. All right, that split in the ground. All right, but ultimately, when it happened, he had given like a quick saying to himself to let you know that his duty had been done. The same way Paul said All right, well, get it. Get it Luke 23 and start at 45. Get it in NLT.
Luke 23 and 45 in the NLT, it says, the light from the sun was gone, and suddenly the curtain in the sanctuary of the temple was torn down the middle.
Yep. Which lets you know, because in the temple, only the priest can enter into the veil. I mean, into the, the innermost place, but now the Lord made us all priests. All right. After the order of what? Melchizedek. All right. This was part of that. Go ahead, brother.
Then Yahushua shouted, Father, I entrust my spirit into your hands.
Right. So he said, Lord, look, I entrusted my spirit into your hands. So by entrusting the spirit of the Lord into his hands, then he said, prepare thy soul for temptation when you come to serve me. All right. Go ahead.
And with those words, he breathed his last,
And really, his last breath was the beginning of the everlasting breath. Technically. All right. Because he died in his body. He was raised a living spirit, man. Okay. He had what? He said, it is done. Right. He said, Lord, it is done. And that's when he gave up the ghost. But the same thing that Paul said. Paul said, Lord, I have finished my course. I kept the faith.
Yep.
I finished it, man. All right. So that's the same with us. But Paul had us say, look, I did all I could do. That is at his hand. I'm at my end point of the ministry. And now I'm ready to get my crown, man. All right. Go ahead. That's more.
Yeah.
I'm going to get in that. You could go get that with Paul. Probably get that in the NLT too. It may look good. It may have something better.
So you talking about Paul?
I kept the faith. I finished the course.
Okay.
All right.
I was at verse 47.
Yeah, no, I know where you at. I'm about to jump down because I wanted to go to this man. All right, this Luke 23 and 50. I'm going to read down. It says, now there was a man named Joseph, a counselor, and he was a good man and a just. All right. The same had not considered to the counsel and deed of them. All right. Which was of the Jewish council. He was of Arimathea, a city of the Jews, who also himself waited for the kingdom of our power. So he's a just man waiting for the kingdom of our power. All right. It says this man went into Pilate and begged the body of Yahushua. All right. Because again, the body of Yahushua had also the evidence of affliction, right? Chastisement upon it. So the same bodies we have gonna have the scars, the affliction we went through, the things brothers have endured, all right? The punishment of the Lord that they went through. Okay, so this is symbolic for this. You can mirror this with that. All right. Ultimately, this man was doing something else as well. It says, and he took it down and wrapped it in linen. So, he got the body, Yahushua, wrapped it in linen and laid it in a sepulchre that it was hid in stone wherein never man before was laid. So he even went to a place after he had give up the body, the beatings in his body. He had went where no man even was laid, man, which is symbolic, for us being put in that special place as well. If we was to, sacrifice our body for the Lord, man. We're gonna go where no other men, other nations or different people. We're gonna go into the bosom of the Lord. Remember, it was the rich man and Lazarus. Yep. He went in the bosom of the Lord, man. All right. It says, and that was the point I wanted to make on that. All right. Okay, where his body was placed or whatever. Okay. Went home and prepared spirits and ointments. All right, that was it. But get that part with Paul, bro.
It's 2 Timothy 4 and 7. It says, I have fought a good fight.
Yep.
I have finished my course.
I
have kept the faith.
Right. So he fought a. So if just keeping the faith is spiritual, what the hell Paul said I fought a good fight? Because Paul was in tumults often. He was in a deep. He was bitten by a serpent. Right? Meaning what? He went through the things of being people wanting to kill him. They vowed to never eat or drink till they kill Paul. Because he was what? Preaching the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. He had persecuted the church. All right. So Paul had went through the things that he was blinded to receive the knowledge of the Gentiles, to bring the Gentiles in. Okay. He had a thorn in his flesh. All those things show that Paul bare the marks, all right, of the body of the Lord. And that's why he was able to say that. All right. Because he had a report or a reputation of being what? Being beaten and battered for the Lord, going through straits, right? He was beaten with stripes, all right? He was stoned, okay? So he had done went through the physical aspect of chastisement to be called the son of the Lord, all right? Because the Lord, when the Lord chastises you, he calls you to be sons. Go ahead,
I was just going to say, all the things that Paul went through, it showed you the scars of his service.
The scars of his service, that's right.
It showed you that stigma that he had, for the Lord's ownership, right? Because all in all, he was doing this, he was going through those things for the Lord. He kept going and fighting through those battles, for the Lord. Because he had faith in the Lord, right? Because he bared his cross. So when he came into the work of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, he had to fight. Yep. Just like Yahushua had to get, many stripes, whatever like that. Yep. His servants got to go through the same thing because the service is no greater than a master.
And Yahushua had scars of service.
Yep.
He the first one that took the scars for us that we could bear.
Like I said, Hebrews 53. Isaiah 53.
Yeah, he got stripes.
Yep.
And stripes of wisdom is never out of time. So when we do get this wisdom, it comes with stripes, man. It's going to be a label. All right. And we got to go through those things. Even the mental labor and the whippings and that goes through our mind, where we got to keep our mind staying up on the Lord. It ain't easy, man. All right. It's trial and error. You see, this Psalms 31:5, it says, "Into thine hand I commit my spirit." Matter of fact, I'm going to read it in 5. So now David said the same thing the Lord said. David said, "I entrust my spirit into your hands." This is what it say right here. "Rescue me, Yahweh, for you are a faithful power." Didn't Yahweh shall say the same thing on the cross? "I have entrusted my spirit into your hand. Do as thou wilt with me." All right. So David said the same thing, brother. Yep. To let you know he's bearing what? The same, the scars of service of the Lord. Yep. All right. And when it say, fearful is him that fall into the hands of the Lord. Can you get that one, Baba Gashan? I'll get this one while you get that. We'll get rid of that. This Psalms 139:5. "You go before me in the NLT and follow me. You place your hand of blessing on my head." And sometimes the Lord bless us with chastisement is a blessing. Didn't it please the Lord when he bruised his son? All right. So that's how he receives us as sons, through chastisement. All right. But the Lord go before us and follow us, man. So while he said, "I'm going to set as a refiner's fire." Meaning Yahweh Shai, setting around you in your affliction, man. He with us through it. He went through it. He watching us go through it. And also what? Protecting us in it, man. Mm-hmm. You see that?
Yep.
You found it?
No, I do. I got some right now.
You got to find that out.
Yeah, you might have to. I'm going to bring this out, though. This is Hebrews 12.
I got it.
Okay.
This Hebrews 10:31. "It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power," man. Okay? So it's a fearful thing. He said, "Hey, look, if you entrust your spirit into Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, is a fearful thing, man. Because the Lord going to put that to the test. Didn't he test Job? Yep. Didn't he say, my perfect servant?" Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead, all right.
This is this Hebrews 12:5. It says, "And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. Alright, so that's how we know we not, that's how we know we not bastards, man. Alright, that's how we know we actually serving the Lord, because he gonna try your fate. Alright, he gonna chastise us. It says in verse 7, if ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. I'll jump to verse 10. It says, verse 10, for they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Alright, so those scars of service is not in vain. Alright, it's gonna be how we obtain our crown. It says, verse 11, now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous but grievous, nevertheless afterward it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. And that's why it was a big thing. When Paul said, I've finished my course, I fought the good fight of faith. Because he had a crown laid up for him, right? And an eternal weight of glory laid up for him. But that all comes with bearing the scars of your service, all right, for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Yeah. The Lord said your heart gotta be fixed and established serving the Lord. All right, Psalms 112. He tell you that my heart is fixed and established serving the Lord. Give me Psalms 143 and 10. Read it in NLT. Now I'm gonna get this Job. All right, real quick. Okay.
You want the Psalms first?
Yes.
Okay. This Psalms 143 and 10. In the NLT, it says, teach me to do your will, for you are my power. May your gracious spirit lead me forward on a firm footing.
Right. Teach us to do his will. Mark us with the Tawah. Give us the guide. All right. Teach us, because we know the will of the Lord wasn't easy. Remember, all the disciples died horrific deaths, man.
Yeah.
All right. So when we have learned the will of the Lord, then you got to know, like, this ain't something light you learned. All right. There's going to be a heavy is the head that hold a crown. And much wisdom is much grief. All right. So as you want to learn, as you desire wisdom and knowledge, and the Lord give it to you in your inward part, you got to remember the balance to that. Chastisement, affliction. All right. You got to be willing to accept that too. You got to get to the point where you got to accept every and anything from the Lord, because you're going to do it anyways. All right. Okay. This is, you right, that was Psalms, right?
Psalms, yeah.
Con, this, Job 27 and 6. It says, my righteousness I hold fast, and I will not let it go. So when the Lord teaches, we're going to hold this righteousness fast, but this righteousness goes into that mark. All right. It says, my heart shall not reproach me long as I live. If we just stick to and hold to what we have and be assured what we have learned and living for, man. All right. Well, we get this last one. You got no more else. Isaiah 30, 38 and 16. You read it in NLT. Right?
Yeah, all right. Isaiah 38 and 16 in the NLT. It says, Lord, your discipline is good, for it leads to life and health.
Right. So to be a disciple, right, and to receive the discipline of the Lord, meaning you got the what? You got the truth of the Lord. Yahweh Shai have supped with you, because Yahweh Shai had to be he had to walk in that discipline too. All right. So in order for him to sup with you, there got to be a level of discipline that you must accept, man. All right. It says, Lord, your discipline is good. Go ahead.
It says, Lord, your discipline is good, for it leads to life and health.
That's the life for your spirit when you read it in the KJV. All right, he said, oh Lord, by these things men live, and in all these things is the life of my spirit. So the life of our spirit rests in the discipline of the Lord. Go ahead.
You restore my health and allow me to live.
Right. So the Lord recover us and make us live. And making us live is quicken us. Steady give us the spirit, have our bellies within living waters. All right, that we could keep the marks of the body of the Lord inside us, spiritually and outwardly, man. All right, because you're not a Jew on one outwardly, but through the circumcision and becoming a new creation, and also understanding that you may have to get beaten battered, man. All right, all these things make up the perfect creature in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. All right, go to 17.
Verse 17, it says, yes, this anguish was good for me.
Right, so anguish is good for us. Right, the affliction, these things are good for us. Go ahead.
It says, for you have rescued me from death and forgiven all my sins.
So rescuing us from death, all right, the Lord gonna bring us, we should scarcely make it. He'll bring us close to it. But remember, Yahweh already took the sting of death. That sting of death also represents the marks that had to go in his body, man. All right. But he took the sting away from it. So now we'll be able to what? Take it and keep the faith throughout it, man. All right. It ain't going to fear us no more. It don't have power over us no more. That's what taking the sting from us is. That don't mean some of us, because some of us going to still have to get it. But the point is, you got to be willing to walk in this thing as a soldier of the Lord. And when you're on the front line, you don't know if you're coming back home. All right. You got to be accept, as we were talking about earlier, about the men who don't want war, just go home. Yep. All right. Because this thing in the war, you ain't going, your boots are on the ground, meaning what? You in the mud, man. And when it rain, all right, when you pray for rain or you in rain, you gotta ultimately get ready for when it's muddy. Because it's going to get muddy when it rains. Yep. All right. So when it does, you got to be able to what? Endure. But that's all I had, bro. You know, if you had anything.
I want to read that verse 18 too.
Go ahead.
It says, for the dead cannot praise you. They cannot raise their voices in praise. Those who go down to the grave can no longer hope in your faithfulness. Right? And that's why I said in that verse 17, you have rescued me from death. Right? Because it was all to, to show the Lord's glory. Right? In the faith that we have, that he didn't do away with us. All right? He could have, but he didn't. Yep. All right? He wanted to rescue us, in order for us to keep going, man.
Yeah, and that we wasn't in the, it's like the pit of corruption. But instead, if we were, better at mark in our body for Yahweh Shai, then we gonna be raised incorruptible. You see? So we get the win, man. We get the dub. But the point is, you got to accept the fact that you may end up on either side of that mark. All right. But in order to have the spiritual mark, you also got to have what? That flesh, that you got a better marks in your body too, man. All right. Maybe your physical body. All right. You have to bear it. But that's it, bro.
That's it.
So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the hopefully elect and those that cleave to the body. With that, we're going to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Kakadash. The honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to the archons that's pushing the truth and sincerity. Till next time, we're going to say Shalom.